Cool. All right, my name is Nick Allen. I am president of the HEMA Club BC, and this is my HEMA Alliance Instructor test video. So, today we're going to be working on approaching the fight, and it's going to be a lot of words and a lot of concepts. So, the masters had, at least an hour in particular, thought that approaching the fight and taking the board was the most important thing you could do in a fight. So, there are two main ranges, Zufecten and Krieg. And Ben, if I can borrow you. Zufecten is where you are out of range of the other person. So if I extend out as far as I can't hit him, and if he extends out as far as he can't hit me. So this is Zufecten, and this is basically where you can analyze anything that he's doing. So if I change guards, then you notice that, and he can start to plan his attack and what he's going to do. This is basically the area that you plan on what you're going to do. And rigging especially is, he thinks that it's important to plan to take the board, but also be prepared to lose it as well. So this is Zufecten, and this is Krieg, where I can actually hit. So now, this is within the range where if we step, we will actually hit each other. And this is where the binding happens. So if he strikes and I strike, now we're both in range, and we're actually closer to two. And that's where winding, striking, binding, and all that can happen. When you are in Krieg, they advise take the board, and we'll talk about the board and the later. But basically, as I've said, this is the area where you can be hit and you can hit them as well. And it's possible to be in Krieg and bind with a person, then step out of Krieg, so now you're back in Zufecten, and then go back into Krieg. So it's okay to change those directions around. And we'll talk about it later too, how it's okay to see the board and then retake it. So Krieg and Zufecten are very important because those are the areas at which you can maneuver. And it's also important to realize if you are in Zufecten for them, but they're in Krieg for you, you can't hit them, they can't hit you. Especially when you have people with long arms. Yeah, so rigging actually says don't rush into the Krieg, just because that way you're not actually going to make a foolish mistake. So, for war, this is the initiative, so I can start this out. If we are here, and we are both in a guard, and I strike, I have taken the initiative, and I have put the pressure on her. She has to now either parry or be hit. And so then you get into winding, in which case you can do lots of different things. But this is very important because while I am attacking, she must defend or be hit, which means I've now put the fight on my terms, and she is now reacting. So she's now in the Nach. And the Nach is not a great place to be because I can keep pressing this attack as much as I want, and she actually can't do anything about it. That's actually why Lichtenauer says take the board and do not let them come to blows. Because if I'm here and come this way a bit. So if I'm here and I keep attacking, she can't do anything about it. And eventually one of my attacks is probably going to land. And so by keeping the pressure on her, I've ensured that she can't come to blows. So the Nach, like I've said, is not the best place to be. So if she strikes first, and I'm now in the Nach, this is not a good place to be because I'm now reacting to her. However, it's possible for me to retake the board, especially in the bind, either by winding into Absetzen or Mietzieren, or if I'm weak in the bind, so if she's strong, then I can do clear, or I can change out and go through. So there are things that you can do from the Nach. And the most important thing when you're in the Nach is to figure out how you're going to retake the board. So while you are on the defensive, how are you going to become offensive? A great way to do that is called Nach Reisen, which is where if you strike at me, and I'm now in the Nach, and then you strike again, and I avoid the attack, then now I can attack where your sword wasn't. And so it's the theory of attacking where the sword isn't or chasing before it opens. And that's one way that you can get out of the Nach. Another way is a single time countermeasure. So if you strike at me, and I'm able to go in with a strong defense, and then I can look around here. This would be considered better. Here, right here, and I'm actually able to take the initiative. And this is a single time countermeasure because I'm now attacking while defending. So that's another way that you can get out of it. Another way, like I've said, is to simply exit the fight and then move. So for here, now it's far, and I don't like where I am, I can back up. And now we're back in Zufecten, and this time I can take the initiative. So those are some ways to deal with being in the Nach. And why you should take the board. Because when you're in the board, you control the fight. If I am starting on sparring and I run out and I'm very aggressive like this, I'm now putting the fight on my terms, and now she must react to it. Exactly, yeah. So if you can put the fight on your terms, you stand a much better chance of not only controlling the fight, but deciding what happens as well. So distance and range, people try to use them interchangeably, but they're actually two very different things. So distance is the space in between us. So right now there's about, I'd say, 2 feet between us. And like I said, distance is, it plays into if you can hit each other. So right now I am at a Krieg distance where I can toss into it. Range is the range of an attack. A shadow now is going to have a much longer range than a palm sword. So at this distance, we can hit each other. At this range, a technique like a pommel would be more appropriate than a technique like a shield, because that range is too long for this distance. And that's why it's important, because it's important to think, what distance am I at? Am I in Zufecten or am I in Krieg? And what technique has the appropriate range for the position that I'm in? So those are all things to think about. And then timing versus tempo, I'll take that now. And so timing and tempo, people again try to use these interchangeably. Tempo is if we're fighting. That bump, 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 that's tempo, and that's the time that you have in which to make an attack. If he swings a slow overpower hit, the time that it takes for him to throw it to hit is the tempo. And then do it again. And then time for me to, the instant that I choose to react is timing. So if he throws it and I choose to react at the very beginning, I might be able to come in with a strong and wind in. However, if I choose to go, say, late and parry him at the weak, then there's other options for coming in, either at the beginning, middle, or end of your tempo. And the instant that you choose to react is your timing. And timing and tempo are very important because that's how footwork works. So if I notice that he's advancing on me, this is a tempo, and if I choose to strike as he comes forward, then that can be an element of timing where I'm striking as he's focusing on moving forward. Or even if he's changing from a guard to a different one, then as he's changing a guard, that is timing, sorry, tempo. But if he changes to a guard, and I decide to strike at him as he's changing that guard, then that's timing. And again, I have the option of striking as he is beginning to change or as he is completing the change. And depending on your own style and the specifics of your fight, then you can choose whether or not to use timing or tempo. So, safely entering and leaving the fight. So, in order to safely enter the fight, you almost always throw an attack. We almost always do an overhow or zornhow, because that's very effective. Like Ben just did, you're able to take the center and you're able to wind effectively from the position of power. So, in order to safely enter the fight, you almost always do an attack. Very rarely do you do something else, because if I avoid the attack as he strikes, that's not really leaving, or sorry, that's not really entering the attack, that's more ceding the board and taking it. So either perform a secret stroke, so if I notice that he's in bomb talk, I might start the fight with his workout in order to prompt the defense that I can exploit. And so if you start with a secret strike and you're breaking that guard and you're forcing a response that's predictable. For instance, I know that if I strike at a lower opening, he's going to have to defend with something that covers that lower opening, exposing the higher opening that I can then exploit. However, if you do a different attack, you can always have different tactical implications. For instance, if I hang out in Landlord and wait for him to come closer, then this is another way that I can exploit the opening, simply because I can change through and exploit a different opening and elicit a different reaction. So that's why it's safe to enter the fight, because he can't attack me directly because I have a point in his face, struck piece of metal. In order to safely leave the fight, if we're here, and I really don't like where I am, say, like in this position, I'm offline, I don't feel confident that I can effectively wind in time, there's a few ways. You can either back up, disengage the blade, and enter Landlord as you back up, or you can do something called schnappen, which is where if he's on my blade like this and he's applying pressure, I can lift off and then strike the blade coming down into Landlord. So if we're here, I can either change through into Landlord, or if he is trying to wind into me, then I can snap in the blade like that and back up. Because if he tries to If he notices that I'm leaving the bind and tries to strike at me, then that stopping is a really effective way of parrying that and then being angled. And then you can back up, you see it before, and then you can try again next time. If you're really close, if you're in grappling distance, there's not a whole lot that you can do to exit the fight, unless maybe keeping his hands occupied and then getting out like that. However, if you're in that range, then you're almost always forced to grapple. So in order to safely leave the fight, try to get into landlord and back up. So, yeah. So Dobringer actually says when you are trying to take the board, be prepared to lose so that you know how to take them out. So if I'm here and I'm ready to take the board, I'm going to get online, I'm going to defeat his bind. His bind is now stronger than my crap, what do I do? I plan for this because I'm following Dobringer's advice. Oh, I'm going to back up and wind out and then try again. Exactly. So if you are ever entering a fight, be prepared to lose it and plan for what you're going to do if that happens. So that way you are always in motion. As they said, core principle of fencing, especially. Dobringer and Ringing especially like the core principle of fencing, is that you're always in motion, but you never hesitate. So that way you're always attacking, you're always chasing the openings, as they say. Cool. So now we get to do some drills to drill all of that. Sledgehammer drill is one of my favorites. And let me leave my skills for this. It drills your effective range for striking, and whether or not you are in someone else's range where you can't hit. So Ben has longer arms than me, so this actually works out really well. What?
Do I actually have longer arms?
Yeah, you do. I'm short. So the way this drill works is each person is limited to long time, and they can only perform a descending open arm, and they're aiming at the top of the head. See first. So basically, my goal is to hit Ben in the head, and then my goal is to back up before he can hit me in the head. Neither of us can parry. The goal is to get in range, hit, and then get out before he hits you. And it's a very tricky drill, because notice how right here, I can't hit him, but he can hit me. Because his arm's longer than mine, whereas I can't hit him. So I had to be very aware of where my distance is versus where his distance is. So, for example, if he strikes, then I can back up and hit him like that. So that way I'm aware of where his effective range is and where my effective range is. So, have fun. You guys will get to do this for about 30 seconds. And then we'll call a break and we'll see who's doing what and how it's going. Hold on, so you guys. Okay. And go ahead. Five seconds. Stop. Cool. So what did you guys notice?
Responding to a strike results better than kind of initiating strike, at least in my experience.
Okay. So something that I noticed is that you both were backing up laterally. So every time you would hit them, you would back up in a straight line, and then it was very easy for them to hit you, especially because he had superior range. So I think what might help is that if you back up, going offline, and you can do either an offline passing step like in practice, or you can do a lateral movement step as well. Something that I thought you did really well is that you were very good at being able to spring in and tap him, and then start backing up. So I think if you can go offline, that'd be really good. Speed and reflex was great. Your distance management was fantastic. You always knew when she was out of range, so you never bothered to strike at it, and then you strike as soon as she came in. So that was very good. Something that might help is chasing. So that way, when she's backing up in a linear line, keep whacking at her that way. So that way you can not only reinforce offline stepping, but then you can also practice your distance management. Cool. Let's try it again. And this is very good because it drills distance and timing and tempo and who has the more and who has the knock. Krieg and Zufecten and all those good stuff we talked about. Ready?
Yeah.
And go!
You're right, offline.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
I'm so afraid.
10 seconds. Stop. Good. So something that I noticed is that you were very comfortable taking the board. You're perfectly comfortable going after it. And I think this strike, this drill has some artifacts because you're not allowed to parry. And so it focuses more on keeping out of effective range. Overall, I thought that your initiative was very good, and also your distance management. You adapted very well. You were able to, you started at the end getting the idea of moving on, and so you started moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. They're good for you. And you also have practice.
Yeah.
Cool. So how does that drill feel?
Good?
Good? Yeah, it's really good for practicing the distance management between two people. If you ever see like professionals do it, like Jake and Carl, it's amazing because they'll get it, they'll snap it, and then they'll like just barely graze each other's helmet, and they'll snap right back out. It's really cool. So that's the next one. It's called Love Dart, and so this one is where you are trying to safely exit the fight. And so, like I was showing you earlier, you can either shotgun or rifle. If we're here, and we are in the fight, then Sarah's going to take the board. And so she's going to find it, and I'm going to decide, crap, I really don't like this. I'm either going to wind under and get into the leg, or while she's chasing me. So you're trying to thrust into me, but I'm keeping you at range like this. And so if I'm keeping you at range and don't actively run in, but if my sword's down here, then you're happy. Or if she's here, and then she tries to chase in, then I can stop it and back up like that. So we'll be doing it 10 times. One person takes the board, the other person backs up, and then switch holds. So let's start over here. So that will stay. Thank you. Yeah. So you take the board, Ben. As soon as you feel that line, you realize. As soon as you take that line, you realize you don't like where you are, so you want to back up. Try to take that board again. All right. So go ahead. And say I keep chasing. There. I'm sure. If I had my own anyway. I should probably demonstrate this in person actually. So if Ben and I are here, and just about to say, that's all I want to say. So if we're here, then Ben is going to strike me. So notice how I'm backing up, and I'm immediately taking my guard. And as soon as I assume that position, then you can stop chasing me. That's designed just to make sure that we're in position. Again. So notice how I'm engaging his blade and then presenting the threat. Let's do it again. And again. And so notice how I'm covering my retreat with that Schnappen, and then I end in this really great warding position. I don't come any closer than stand in the face. Again. Good. And again. Make sure you keep chasing me, so that way if I don't do it, then you remind me. Again. Good. And again. Good. Cool. Switch places. And so now I will be striking you, and then you go back. Ready? Good. Make sure you get that point like in my face. That way it's really deterring. And again. Good. Make sure you back up too. So when you feel this bind, either change under. So when you like that, and then back up a ways. There you go. Because then that way I can't really get forward anymore because you're back in my face. Again. There you go. Nice work. See how you felt that kind of slide off, and then you were able to exit the bind really well. Nice. Again. Nice work. Something that might help is rotate your pommel a bit more. So So that way your point gets a larger circle and you know the final crosswalk. Ready? There you go, just like that. Because if I kept going forward, I would have gone right into your point. Nice one. Nice, just like that. Perfect. Awesome. Excellent. And now try the schnappen. So when we get into the bind, you're going to bring your sword back. Yeah, so for this one, bring your pommel down, pass it behind you, and then snap forward. So that way, if I'm pressing on you strongly in the bind, yeah, just like that, because then you can snap the hands. Or the blade, depending on whichever I'm trying to attack. Ready? Yeah, just like that. Make sure you back up too. And good. Hey. Hey, just as long as I'm not stabbing you in the face. Perfect, nice one. You can afford to back up a bit more. That's not really designed to hit me, it's designed to give you something to focus on while you're back. Hey. There you go, nice one. Cool. Hey.
Yeah.
Switch it. Hey, you go on that side. I'll take it over. Okay. Cool. So you'll be attacking me and then I will be. Yeah. Make sure you activate chase. No, you're good. Good. Nice work. And again. Good. And again. Try to stick that point in my face. There you go, much better. Cool. Again. Excellent. Nice. I needed to back up more. Excellent. Good places. So let's start with the changing tool. So when we get here, then you'll drop your point under. Yeah. And then,
Just like that?
yeah, point in my face. Cool. Ready? Excellent. Nice work. And good. And good. Excellent. Nice. So I tried to chase it, and you put the point in my throat. And then I'm thoroughly deterred. Nice. Now try the stomping. So when we hit here, your blade's going to go around. Yeah, just like that. And make sure you keep backing up.
Yeah, so you bind,
Yep.
bring it around like this.
Yes, and
Like
then
the
strike
dog, yeah?
strike with the true edge.
Okay.
So here you go. And then snap around.
What I think.
That's the false edge.
False
Strike with
edge.
the true edge. There you go. Yeah, so that way it's right here.
Yeah.
Your pommel draws a circle,
Okay.
and then it comes down with the false edge as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're right here.
So,
You're still hitting with the false edge. Try with the true edge.
okay.
Alright.
So, palm in a circle. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I think gloves might also be an artifact. Go ahead. Comes down. See, you're crossing your arms like this.
Yeah.
You should be landing like this. So try to make sure your shoulders stay facing you.
Okay.
So you're
Fine.
down. Yeah, just like that. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's a small circle, but it's very effective.
Okay.
Because if I'm pressing on the bind right there, then you can snap. Yeah, just like that. You're backing up too.
Okay.
So that way, if I'm here and I try to strike at you, then you're covering yourself.
So I hit you.
Exactly. So here. Exactly. See, because then I can't hit you because you're backing up. And also you're snapping too. So try it again. Ready? Excellent. Nice work. Good hit on the hands. And again. Excellent. Good. One more time. Nice. Excellent. Cool. Now you two get started. And then we'll take a break. Ben, take the board. And Sarah, take the top.
Sorry, what?
You take the board, you take the top. So you're attacking, you're retreating. Back a little bit. There you go. And go. Good. Make sure you chase it down and make sure you back up. There you go. That's two. Good. Good. You can also change under if you want to. Good. Nice work. Last one. Good. Now switch sides. Now switch left side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You'll be fine. Skip you.
Whoa.
Yeah, try it. Good. One. Good. Make sure you scuttle back, because getting out of range and getting into Zufecten again is the goal. Not necessarily stabbing him. You're just trying to keep him from running after you.
Okay.
Try again. There you go. Much better. Cool. Try to make sure that his point ends up on your sword blade instead of your crossbow.
Okay.
And again. Better. So when you're backing up, try to take like leap steps back. Because right now you're kind of stepping back and then stop. So make sure that when you go, you're actually leaping back because you don't want that one.
Okay.
Try again. There you go. That's better. Cool. Switch sides. Now you can go back to it.
You want to say?
Yeah, right side and then side to side.
Okay.
That's okay. Sorry. Switch roles, I should say.
Okay.
Then make sure you back up. Back up more. There you go. Because like I said, you're not trying to hit them, you're just trying to present them a threat while you back up. Cool. Something that might help too, same thing with her, is that when you're backing up, try to take like leap steps and like really try to get out of there. Because like you notice how when I was doing it, it was more like trying to scale back as much as I could.
There's like everything.
Yeah, exactly. Grab away. Better. Notice how she's still ending up kind of close. So also step offline too. Getting better, yeah. One more time. Yeah. And then left side. And then Sarah back up a bit. And then bend and move a little bit. There you go.
I already know how to fall from this side. Hang on.
No, you're good. Good, because you didn't back up as much, but you covered yourself with his helmet, so that's okay. Good. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Last one. Try to get back a little bit. There you go. Notice how now you're really far out of range. That's what I was looking for. Good. Okay, grab some water. But yeah, it's really good because if you actually look at what they say about war and not, and the importance of taking the war, taking initiative, putting the fight in terms, it's all really good stuff. And getting out of a bad position if you don't like it. So I see so many people get into a bad bind and then try to like wiggle through it, and it's okay. It's totally okay to back up and try again because if you don't like the spot you're in, it's okay to change it. And I see so many people when they bind, grab this one. When they bind, they get into a bad position, like this, and then they kind of like wiggle their sword a lot in there, and it's so easy if you just kind of, yeah, like that. So something that really helps is if you're in that position, either back up or close it, change the positions that way. So that's something that I think some clubs don't emphasize enough. So it's okay to leave or see it, and then because the Eisenhower and Billbringer and Ringnick and Danzig, they're all very focused on, take the board, make sure it never comes close. And when we study that, it's very important. It's also important to realize that they're also saying it's okay to lose the board as long as you're prepared to take it on. So, cool. Yeah, so the last drill is you're going to be sparring as usual, and then at some point I'll call, and I'm going to ask, all right, where are you in terms of distance are you going to back to the Krieg, who has the board, who has the Nach? And if you have the Nach, what are you going to speak with? Cool. So gear up, and then spar for a bit. I'll stop you a few times, and then I'll switch out with one again, and then
Keep my mask.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, just watch the light and stay in frame. Yeah, go ahead. Stop. All Alright, what range are you guys at? Zufecten or Krieg?
Zufecten.
Yep. Who has the board?
Neither of us.
Exactly. It's a trick question. No one's taking it against you in Zufecten. Alright, Ben, what are you planning to do next?
I was planning on advancing and maybe turning underhow.
Okay. And so what are you going to do next?
Avoid it.
Okay. What's another thing that you could do against an underhow? Yeah, you can do either a front bar or you can go into flip too. Cool. So, Rizu, go ahead.
Are you still gonna do that?
Yeah, totally.
Stop! Alright, who has the board? Alright, are you in Zufecten or Krieg?
Krieg.
Good. So what are you going to do? You're going to take the board. Good. What's another thing that you could do? If you decided you didn't like this position that you're in. Yeah, exactly. Change through and then back up. Because then that way you can get out of the Krieg and get back into Zufecten. Yeah. Take the board. Reset bits, reset. And go again. No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Take the ceiling off.
Stop. All right. Who has the board?
Me. Again.
How do you know?
What was the last one attacking?
Right, but does that mean you can still have the board? Because if you notice, your point was going upwards, and so it's in that moment, it's very hard for you to change direction, and so she can actually come in with a different attack. Because that would actually be Nach rising, where she's attacking with a sword, isn't it? So if Sarah has the board, how do you intend on maintaining it?
What?
How do you intend on keeping the board?
If I just have in.
Yeah, so you keep attacking, you keep chasing the others.
Yeah.
Ben, how are you going to get out of the knock?
I was going to come under.
Yeah, exactly. You can get out of it and you can try it again. Excellent. Cool. Reset, try again. Excellent. That was a really nice underhow.
I'm so sorry.
Take a break. I'll hop in. But yeah, so do you guys understand how to analyze the fight to see where you are, who's in Zufecten, who's in Krieg?
Yeah.
Because if you notice, Ben was in Krieg and Lock, you can see the Lock Krieg.
Yeah.
So you were actually in range of Ben.
Yeah.
So the distance between you is appropriate range of times. My poor friends who have to read my curriculum, by the time they're done editing all these things, like, I see German, I hear German, it's all German now. Cool. So Sarah, you can stop us whenever you want, and you can ask us all questions.
Cool.
You're all good?
Yeah, glasses.
Deaf glasses.
Them glasses.
Deaf glasses.
Stop. Zufecten or Krieg?
Right now, I'm in Krieg because I'm in range of him for games, even especially with the hands.
Who has the sword? Is that it?
4.
Yeah. I mean, I think neither of us really do because we just exited the exchange. But I think Ben is in the more offensive stance.
Okay. Continue. Listen.
Left. Oh, that was a terrible double.
Zufecten or Krieg?
Yeah, definitely Krieg.
Who has the sword?
Board.
Board?
V-O.
Board?
He most definitely has ward.
Yeah. Why do I have the board, Ben?
Because you're hitting the head.
Exactly. Why else?
Because you're in a more advantageous spot right now.
Exactly. How do you plan on retaking the board? Good, good. Yeah, because this position sucks for you.
Yeah.
Unless you can bind in and grapple, then you know, tough one.
Yep.
Cool. So again. Ah. Carl taught me that you can actually just put your sword over lower guards and it works. It's great. Oh, nice.
Stop! Krieg.
Zufecten?
Yeah, definitely Zufecten.
And, more.
Nobody has boards, so not Krieg.
Yep. That's right. Cool. So switch out. Now Ben gets to yell at us.
Yes. My natural state.
Absolutely. Cool. Ready? Take the floor. Be aggressive. Oh!
Zufecten or Krieg?
Definitely Krieg.
Alright.
Showed up.
Who has war?
She definitely has war.
Alright. Very good. Reset.
And then I would try to retake it.
Yeah, how would you try to retake it?
Either by binding into superior position, or just backing up and then getting into a one bar again.
Alright, reset.
Nice, good job. Good blocking that post.
Halt! Who has, is it Zufecten or Krieg?
Zufecten right now.
Alright, and then nobody has war?
Nope.
Alright, reset, continue. Halt! Zufecten Krieg?
Krieg?
Barely Krieg. Yeah, I think I might be able to barely reach your hand with the stab. Yeah, exactly. Cool.
Alright, well, who would you think has war at this moment?
I think I have more because I'm in a more prominent
Yeah.
position. Although the weaks of our swords are together, so binding is really whoever gets there first.
Alright, and how would you try to take war?
Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
You'd probably try to wind over
Yeah.
or back up and try again.
Alright.
Cool. Last one.
Oh shit!
Halt!
You won.
Zufecten or Krieg?
Krieg.
Alright, who has war?
Me.
And how would you try to retake war?
Run away!
Yeah.
You can win this.
Definitely the
Yeah,
right
definitely.
choice.
You can block the pommel. You might actually be able to sink that. You might actually be able to get your arms in the way too. So.
Yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah. Nice job. Good job.
Very good. I like that one.
Can't win grappling.
So, what did you guys learn?
The different ranges.
Yeah.
For Zufecten or Krieg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one thing?
Four.
Four?
Starts with B.
Yeah, definitely.
And the best, sometimes the best way to retake war is to give it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, what are other ways to retake the war?
Realign yourself.
Yeah, change the So basically, change the dynamic that you're in tank over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. What is one thing that you did well today?
Range.
Yeah,
Range
definitely.
management.
Yeah. What's one thing that you did well today?
I didn't fall.
Yeah, exactly. What's another thing that you did well today? You did some really good stuff today, though.
I think it was back when you're doing the.
Yeah, yeah. You were very agile and nimble, which is good. Yeah. What's one thing you can work on?
Footwork
Yeah.
and stance.
What's something you can work on?
Springing back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you had a tendency to be like, I got the four. Oh, I'm dead. No, but that's okay though. So it's definitely good for footwork is good for everyone. So good. I'm glad you guys went stuff.
Yep.
So that was approaching the fight, section 4, I believe. And so that was my testing video. Thank you very much to my lovely clubmates, and I will see you guys at Long Point. Thank you very much.